to talk about a different way to generate income through a franchise called Few, which it's the type of business where you can earn income from anywhere, whether it's from your phone or a computer, as long as you have a good internet connection. And today I'm going to share the details with you. How does it work? What is it about? And why might it be right for you? If you're someone who's just joining this space, I invite you to share this broadcast. Right here, there's a little share icon with an arrow next to it, so you can share this in your social media groups, your WhatsApp groups, with a friend, with a family member, and they can also check out this opportunity. You can also like this broadcast or tap the screen, depending on which app you're using, so that it can also reach more people who are looking for an easy way to develop this business, which you can run in more than 30 different countries, creating a unique residual passive income for yourself and for others. To get started, as we kick off this session, I'm going to show you some slides you see on the screen and tell you a little bit about myself. In my case, together with my wife, we've been developing this business for almost 10.5 years now. One of the key features of building this business is not just that you can generate different streams of income, but especially that this income can turn into a retirement income for you and your family. The main strength of this business, which we noticed before joining, was that we had been working at the bank. In fact, this photo I'm showing you on the screen was taken just 1 week before we started Fuxion as a business. And we had been working at the bank. I was earning a good salary at the bank where I worked. My salary is about the amount I'm showing you on the screen today. It was a good salary for most countries in the world. Depending on which country you're in, it was an income that would let you have a fairly stable financial situation. So Marco, why, if you had a good salary, were you looking to generate more, start businesses, invest, or look into a traditional business? And one of the things that really motivated me to get into business was this image I'm showing you here, which has to do with the topic of retirement. I mean, one of the things that scared me the most was thinking about what retirement would be like when someone finally retires. And it's as simple as going to the retirement calculators yourself. All the institutions, no matter what country you live in, if you work for a company, you contribute to a pension fund system. With that pension fund system, you can go to their website and calculate what your retirement will look like when you retire. And one thing that any retirement company will strikingly show you is that your retirement will be, on average, about a quarter of the monthly salary you earned over your lifetime. And that really scared me. I thought, there's no way. I thought, I have to start something else. I need to do another kind of business. I should look for something, even if it's investing in another traditional business, probably. And if you came to me and said, hey Marco, I have a business, I wanted to hear what your business was about. If you said, hey Marco, I have an opportunity for you, I would try to listen to what that opportunity was about. But when you talked to me about Fuxion or network marketing, I didn't want to listen to you. So Marco, why didn't you want to listen? Didn't you want to be in those businesses? No, it's not about not believing, it's about understanding them. And I didn't understand this business. I thought this business was just about someone who could and had to sell products. And that at most, you could make, I don't know, 200, 300 a month, or so I thought. So, a business that can give you an income, but not an attractive income, just doesn't catch my attention. I was looking for another way to generate income, maybe through a traditional business. I always said, okay, I'm working at the bank, but I should keep working at the bank, but what other business can I do alongside the bank? And Marco, what changed your perspective? What I did at the bank, which showed that I worked there and earned a pretty decent salary, was to grant lines of credit to people who wanted to buy high-end cars. So I had to see how much they earned, how they earned it, all the banking documentation, etc. So I realized in 2014, the year before I joined Fuxion, that there were people who were dedicated to Fuxion and were earning really good incomes. So I thought, hey, can that business really pay such an attractive income? But why? One thing about me was that I was very particular when it came to analyzing things. I wouldn't believe you if you just told me something. I was the type to analyze things. So I would say, if someone is earning an income from this, how do they earn it? So one of the things that caught my attention about how they earn it is this right here, and I'm probably jumping ahead 2 or 3 slides so you can understand. And it's this image here, which is a very basic image. It shows you how the network marketing industry works, in this case Fuxion. Out there, both you and I have at some point consumed products that are distributed in the conventional way. Products that have intermediaries like fixed costs, transportation, advertising, warehouses, department stores, distribution, all the way to the final consumer. A regular product that you buy at a department store has something called a cost price and a customer price. For example, a small bottle of water. A small bottle of water at the store might cost $1. Let's imagine it costs $1 at the store. Its cost is the store's customer price. Its real cost is on average about 30% of the customer price. So, why do we pay $1? Because each intermediary increases the final cost of the product. Transportation, advertising, warehouses, all of these increase the final cost of a product. Let me show you other examples of intermediaries. The store, the corner shop, traditional transportation, TV and digital advertising, department stores, and the person who advertises a product that might actually be bad for your health, but people end up buying it because of the advertising. So all of this increases the fixed cost. Or do you think that the ladies shop at the market where you buy things doesn't make a profit? They do make profits, so all those profits from each intermediary are fixed cost that raises the final price of the product, which the customer ends up paying. So Marco, what does a company like Fuxion do? It doesn't use any intermediaries, and the only intermediaries are us, the people who do the business. So, why did that catch my attention? Because I thought, okay, if I do this business, why would I make a profit from it? I would make a profit, just like you, for only one reason. Because their products reach an end customer. But these products can reach an end customer in two ways. Number one, because I have customers, or number two, because I have a team of people who have customers. And these two simple reasons made my husband and me, well, at that time, he was my boyfriend. We didn't have kids. She was 22 going on 23. I was 26 going on 27. Say, okay, in pure math, then this is an unlimited business. And Marco, why is it an unlimited business? That's why here, the question is, how many people out there can do this business? And the answer is unlimited. Why unlimited? It's as simple as looking at this statistic. Look, let me show you a statistic from the country of Peru. 7 million Peruvians earn the country's minimum wage, based on a formal population rate calculation of 14 million people. When it's known that in Peru, there are twice as many people, in other words, about 14 million Peruvians, according to statistics, who earn the minimum wage of that country, counting both formal and informal sectors. 14 million, and here in Fush. There are people who, in their first week, earn a bonus called the pro bono bonus, which already pays you much more than the minimum wage. So, why am I showing you this? Because I'm also showing you this from here. One of the things my wife and I saw at that time, before we joined, was the strength of this business. Why was that? Because to start this business, the investment, if you even want to call it that, is extremely low. It's like buying a pair of sneakers. And on top of that, there's no risk, because that pair of sneakers, let's say, your investment in Fuxion, means you're getting beverage products and mass consumption goods that are sugar-free and nutritious to start and activate your online store, which is accessible 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, so you can have customers or a team in more than 30 countries. If I asked, how many people out there can afford to invest the cost of a pair of sneakers? Everyone, every person who breathes could do this business. I used to calculate this mathematically, and I want you to realize, if you're analyzing this proposal, hey, if everyone out there who breathes can do my business, then my business is unlimited, because, as it happens, people who breathe multiply geometrically. So, if I look at it this way, in 2025, about 650,000 people who turn 18 are entering the workforce just in Peru. Imagine that in all the other countries where people live. The market is unlimited. And that was powerful for me, because many times I asked myself, okay, if this is a business, how strong can the growth aspect be if you really go all in on this business? Okay, Marco, explain something you mentioned a moment ago. Why did this business catch your attention? Not necessarily because of the income, but because the income can become passive income. What is passive income? And here I want you to understand what makes Fuxion so powerful, which for me is everything. For me, the strength of Fuxion wasn't just the regular income. And let me explain why. While I'm here enjoying a mix of 3 delicious products, let me explain something so this is clear to you. Marco, why for you? The strength of Fuxion wasn't about generating income, but about residual income. Why do you earn income in Fuxion from day one? But if I told you, if you said to me, hey Marco, come do Fuxion to make some profit, I wouldn't be interested. Because if it's just about making money, I can do that at the bank too, and I make good money there. Why would I start a business just to make money, especially when it's something new? So, what really stood out to me was that the income you generate in Fuxion becomes a residual, retirement-style passive income. What does that mean? It means that after you've built it, you can keep earning the same income from what you've already created. Yes, 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 it really is possible to achieve that. And I started looking into the information because I didn't believe anyone at all. I was the type to check the facts, and the information was clear. Look, there are different ways to make money out there. Active income and passive income. Active income depends on your time. A job is active income. A person. A person who is a dentist and sees clients at their dental office is earning active income, not passive income, because it requires their time. They'll never be able to earn money if they don't open their practice. A person who is a business owner and has a market, and probably has two or three people working there, but he also has to be present, because if not, the business doesn't work. That's active income. It depends on your time. What's the difference with passive income? Passive income, for example, is income you can have if you rent out a beach house. You buy a beach house and rent it out. That's passive income. Why? It doesn't require your time. You don't have to deal with a boss you don't want to deal with. And you can enjoy your time while still earning the same income. Right, Marco, but a beach house requires capital. Exactly. I ran into the same problem when I wanted to start out. Buying a house or an apartment to rent out requires capital. It almost always requires capital, and a lot of it, which we don't have. What I saw as a big advantage in Fusion is exactly what I'm telling you. The capital needed was super low, and you could build passive income. Now, Marco, what are some other attractive things about a business like Fusion? A business with these kinds of variables. Low investment. Like I said, the investment is super low, about the same as a pair of sneakers. I'll show you a bit more detail about that in a moment. Zero risk, because what you're getting are products that activate your online store, mass consumption drinks with no sugar and added nutrition. High profitability. You can earn as much as you want. You set the limit. Support. I always say, Marco, you just want to sign me up. No, it's not about just signing you up for the business. It's about understanding that when you start the business, you'll have support so we can build it together, and you'll learn and get trained little by little as we keep building together. And Marco, other notable things: no payroll, no office rentals, no large inventories, no fixed costs, no complicated procedures. In other words, it's a highly leveraged system that makes it easy for you to build. This is one of the most remarkable things. I have to be where I need to be. You can do it from home. The important thing is that you have a good internet connection, or at least a decent one, and that you can leverage a tool like the phone you're watching this on right now, or a computer. That will help you a lot to build. Now, Marco, where and in which country can you find it? We're in more than 30 countries right now, actually 32 different countries. If you want to know if your country already has Fusion, you can check here on the slide. In fact, there are 3 more countries to update here, but if you want, you can also send a private message so you can find out if Fusion is already in your country. But let me tell you, it's not just about being in the country's capital. As long as it's already in the country, the product or team building can happen in any city within that country. And now, as we're getting to the middle of the presentation, before we get into the last part, I want to make a call to action. And if you've been enjoying what you've seen so far, please give it a like or tap the screen so this can reach more people. There's also an option to share this stream so you can send it to more people in WhatsApp groups, or maybe to people who are considering the proposal, or even to people you know who have always wanted to start different kinds of businesses, especially those who want to work from home because sometimes they don't have time to go out or don't have a lot of capital. This is a strong and good business for that. Or people who are looking for a different kind of retirement or residual income. Also, if you happen to be someone connecting from another city and you want to ask me a question, you can leave your questions in the comments. At the end of the stream, I'll be checking to see who asked me questions or who added something they wanted to learn. And I'll be able to write to you directly on the social network you're messaging me from. Or if you want a much more direct interaction, during the stream you can see my number. Feel free to message me directly, and then I can get in touch with you to answer your questions or maybe even to start working together. Moving on to the next point. In more than 30 countries, you can already start developing this business opportunity. Fusion is not transitory. For me, this is one of the most important things about the business. He says, Marco, why is this happening if you look at it from a business perspective? It's one of the most important things. Because I was saying, look, if I'm talking about a business that doesn't have advertising, that doesn't have marketing, where I am the advertising and I am the marketing for what I'm going to build, then what I really need to be super clear about is that the product has to sell itself. I mean, it has to be good. And not only does it have to be good, because imagine I could come out with a good product that's, I don't know, pens. And that's cool, but people buy pens. How often do they actually buy pens? Maybe I could come out with a good product that's, I don't know, pots and pans. Hey, people buy pots and pans, sure, but how often do they buy another pot? Hey, maybe, I don't know, I saw some people selling trips. But people buy trips. How often do they actually buy a trip? Where do they buy trips to? So, the idea is how much demand there is for the product and how much of a consumption trend it has. So, from a business owner's point of view, for me, that's extremely important because let me show you this slide about Fuxion, not just statistics, because the strength of Fuxion is that these are 100% natural products, with patents that even allow them to enter Europe and the United States. Plus, they're mass consumption beverage products, sugar-free and nutritious, with no sugar, 100% natural, no preservatives, no GMOs, no gluten, and they're 100% functional. For me, that was crucial because I thought, okay, thank you. If the products are mass consumption beverages, how often do people drink beverages? Every day. Therefore, if I build a team and that team is going to have customers who consume the brand outside, I need it to be a high turnover product, and Fuxion has that with mass consumption beverages, but also with products that improve health, like prunes, which is for people who are constipated, vida strategia, which is a delicious purple corn drink that provides vitamins and helps you maintain your weight, and thermote, which has the 3 Ts, green tea, red tea, and black tea, which help you maintain your measurements or improve your weight. It even has very different products that help you control glucose for people who usually have gastric issues. It has an immense variety of products. And now you ask, why am I highlighting the product? Because what was important to me was a product with a real need that exists out there from a business point of view. Okay, I get it now. I understand how the industry works. I get the importance of the business side of things regarding building a retirement residual based on what people out there are demanding from the product. Great, now tell me how I make a profit with this business. You make a profit by generating a volume of productivity based on the products the company offers. The number one way to generate it is through a personal franchise from the company, where, by acquiring the franchise, you get your own virtual store that operates 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, so you can have customers. In more than 30 countries, all from your home, your virtual store. You can even set it up so your nice photo appears, your name shows up, and when you send someone the virtual store link or post it on your social media, they click on your virtual store and your face pops up. Your name appears, welcome to Marco's store, and the person can. I could be, I don't know, in Buenos Aires, and the other person could be in Milan, Italy, and they just click, buy your product, pay with whatever method they want, and the company delivers it to them. Cheers! In just a few days, the product arrives right at their doorstep. The company does it, not me, the company. And I earn my profit margin. That's the strength of this business. You can be earning anywhere from 20% up to 50% profit per product. People here make really good money. Let me show you how. I'll give you an example with these two cases right here. First one. Imagine you have 6 customers based on a product from Fuxion that sells really well, which is the 514 pack that helps you lose 5 kilos in 14 days without having to stop eating. And let's say you have about 6 of those customers. Those 6 customers help you close a sale. Thank you for that. It's a payment called Pro 1 payment, which earns you about $400 in a month. There are people who make that much in just a few days, you know? I'm just giving you a month as an example. And, Amargo, what if I have more customers? Maybe I know 12 people who want to lose 5 kilos in 14 days. The way you're explaining it, how much could I be earning in profit? About $800 a month, more or less. And, Amargo, can you make even more if someone who's watching really likes sales? Let me show you an example. You can actually earn really well from sales. It all depends on the effort you put into it. If I can give you one piece of advice, thank you. Based on this, social media really amplifies this nowadays, where people put real focus into it and start generating different kinds of earnings. What I'm showing you on the screen is what made me fall in love with this business as the main thing. And Marco, what is this that you're showing me on the screen? As I just told you, someone who reaches the Pro 1 bonus, for example, has 6 clients to whom they can sell this 514 pack. And you, for example, with what I'm showing you here in this little box, this rank called LighterX, which is LighterX Pro 2, you're earning about this much per month just by having in your team 2 or 12 people who close this product bonus. In other words, 12 people who earn profits by having clients remotely, digitally, or in person, and you for having taught them to do the same. You lead that team that gives you that profit. That's called productive volume. And why is that? Because that's how the business works. They don't use conventional intermediaries. People pay directly, just like the brand does. What would a company do? Let's say, a brewery with this sales volume. It would pay 30 to 40% of its sales volume to advertising and marketing so that you consume a product that's not even good for your health. They pay the people who probably sell their products in a department store. In this case, there are no such intermediaries. Instead, they pay the people who actually move the brand. You can earn money just by having customers, or also by having a team that has customers. With infinite depth, for every box that each of those customers moves in that infinite depth across more than 30 countries, you can earn commissions from that. And here I'll show you some examples of how much you can earn and how much you actually need in your team. Which is nothing out of this world, considering it's an unlimited business that's in 30 countries, where the one thing there's plenty of out there is people. So Marco, for example, what different kind of earnings could I be getting if I start developing the business properly, if I start developing it professionally? Very rewarding. I can offer you different types of earnings based on your team's productive volume. Based on this productive volume of your team, you'll be earning different profits depending on the product sales. It's always based on product sales. It's highly demanded from outside in a completely different way. Here, I'll just show you an example. It's not that you only get paid for the people you personally enroll, but for everyone in your organization, considering that Fuxion as a business has a highly consumable product. Look out there, you'll see it gives you different kinds of earnings. Your team's billing, for example, here, let me show you an example. This would be the amount your team invoices in product sales. You would be earning approximately 10% of the total sales your team generates. And it's called, what happens? My team generates more sales. Is this something out of this world? No, forget it. There are thousands of people with teams that invoice like this right now in Fush. You would be earning about 10% of your team's sales as a monthly commission, which becomes a weekly income that's lifelong and residual. And that's the issue. That's the strong point. All right, got it. Jesus always asks me, all right, got it. Is there a possibility for constant, sustainable growth in Fuxion? Look, here I'll just give you a statistic. Every year, planet Earth, the same planet you and I live on, grows by about 18 to 19 million people. And it's always going to be like that. It's always going to keep growing. And coincidentally, these are people who come into a struggling economy anywhere in the world, looking to generate different kinds of income. Thank you. And start something they can often do easily from home, like the business we have. Here, I'll just show you a bit about the ranks where you can be earning different kinds of income, always passive, always residual, and you set the bar for how far you want to go. And here, I'll highlight these 4 for you. Besides the income aspect, you can also be earning a car bonus. I'm pointing out the car bonus, a bonus they pay you for life, just for you. Travel bonus, even more than 1 travel bonus per year. Fund bonus. Country and global fund bonus, which are basically company stock bonuses from country sales and global sales that get paid to you in your monthly check. Because remember, you become a shareholder of the company. Here, I'll show you some photos of people who have earned the car bonus. If I showed you everyone, you'd get bored and it would take me an hour. There are really a lot. I'm telling you, when I meet a lot of people both online and in person who are in this business, it's 2 or 3 car bonuses per week, and from people who have already won and renew it again, because you can renew it whenever you want. Great trips. Thank you. Here, I'll also show you some examples of the travel bonuses. There are tons of travel bonuses from over the years. More than 1 travel bonus per year. It's actually 2 per year. Plus, in fact, with leadership in AMIG, which you can also qualify for. Where it's not just about you traveling, because there are people who might say, oh, Marco, I've also been to, I don't know, right? I've also been to Punta Cana. I've also been to Cancun. I've also been to Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, but it's different when you travel with Fuxion, because Fuxion gives you a premium class experience. Super top hotels. Super, super top. Seriously, super, super top. It really opens your mind to the idea that you can always keep growing. And there are also some examples of people who earn weekly profits. We're talking about this going back years. In my case, it's been 10 years since I created in Fuxion, since I started earning different kinds of income. And every time, there are tons of people involved. Some people do it much faster. In a way, the digital aspect also speeds up your ability to get completely different results. This also shows you some of the latest photos. There are tons of people demanding Fuxion. Currently, there are already more than 200 people who haven't just changed their finances, because if we're talking about people who've changed, it's more than 9,000 or 10,000 people across more than 30 countries. I'm talking about people whose income has changed so much that it's really remarkable what they're earning now thanks to Fuxion. Let me tell you a bit about myself. In my case, we're not just talking about earning different types of income that the company can provide, but also about the car bonus, like the one I'm showing you here on the screen. We've already renewed our car 5 times with the car bonus that Fuxion gives you, because they pay it to you for life every month, so you can keep renewing. Thank you. Whenever you want, for you and your family. Here, let me show you some photos from our most recent trips, just the ones I've taken with my wife. One of the most remarkable things about these trips isn't just the travel itself, because if I showed you, it's been 10 years of traveling to different countries around the world. If I don't show you this, it's because, for example, these 3 photos are from one of our recent trips where we spent 15 days out of the country in different countries, and during those 15 days, few kept paying, because that's Few's strength. Few's strength isn't that they pay you for what you do, it's that they pay you for what you've already done. What you do has an impact on your future paychecks to make it the kind of retirement income that you generate through the company. Okay, Marco, everything you've explained is crystal clear to me now. I got all the details. I understand. I understand now that with Fuxion you can generate a different kind of income. I get that it can be residual income. I get that the investment is super low. I get that the product has high turnover. I get that you can build a passive income. I get that you set your own limits. I get all of that. Now tell me, what options do I have? Speaking of options, I also want to invite you, if you liked everything I've told you, everything I've shown you in the slides, please tap, or like the screen, depending on which social network you're on, so this can reach more people who are looking to start their own business. Second, I also ask that if you know people who have started a business, or people who want to start a business in a different way, you can share this link that's in the share button, or take a screenshot so you have my number saved and you can message me directly so I can help you get started with your Fuxion business. Okay, Marco, but I'm in country A, B, or Z, or I'm in Europe, or I'm in North America, or I'm in Central America, or I'm way down in South America. It doesn't matter. Fuxion is in more than 30 countries, so we'll be able to help you, whether you want to use the brand or start building your business. Just keep in mind, you don't have to sign up with Fuxion, right? Instead, you partner with someone who's going to help you understand how to get results in a project. Second, if someone has probably shared the link with you, make sure to write to that person as well so you can get started with the business side of things as soon as possible. Okay, Marco, I get it now. What options do I have based on what you've explained to me? There are 3 options. The first one is that you tell me, okay, Marco, thanks for the information. I just want to use the brand. I'm not interested in doing the business. It's not for me. That's cool. Maybe the business isn't for you. You just want to use the brand and improve your health. There are a ton of different products you can start with as a customer. You can also message me privately at the number shown here on the screen, and I'll be able to help you with that. Second, you might say, Jan Marco, I like distributing. I like sales. Plus, you're telling me I can do it through social media. On top of that, you're saying you're going to teach me. I want to distribute the brand. Great. Don't wait any longer. Message me on WhatsApp at the number shown on the screen. You'll be able to communicate directly with me so you can start the business and begin working on a plan. So you can earn your profit within the first 30 days, which is the most important thing. Second, Jan Marco, no, I want option 3. I want to build a franchise network. I want to take this business big. And I want to create a retirement residual income for myself too. Why not do it? After all, we were all created equal, and we can all achieve the same results if we really want to. And if I'm going to have your support on top of that, I want to build a big business. Same thing, message me on WhatsApp, the number's on the screen, so you can open your virtual store today and start building a huge franchise network as soon as possible. Okay, cool, sure, but tell me about this business. If you're saying the investment is super low and it costs about the same as buying sneakers, how much do I need to invest? Here, you can see on the screen there are 2 packages of starter, 2 starter packages, one called the distributor package and another called the distributor pro package. With either the distributor package or the distributor pro package, you can earn up to a 50% profit margin. The difference between the 2 is just how you get started. With the first package, which is 100 points, you get a 25% discount as your profit margin, which is about 5 products that you get to choose yourself. You pick the 5 products, and that's how you start the business. It comes out to around $150, depending on which products you pick, and you also get your virtual store set up, plus your affiliate key and your starter key. And Marco, if you want to start big, if you're used to going all in from the beginning, then the Distributor Pro package is for you. It's about $480, and it includes 15 different products. But it gives you a 30% discount as your profit margin right from the start, which is super important. And just to wrap up, always remember, each person earns what they believe they're worth. I'm telling you this phrase that I've been repeating to myself since I was 20 years old. I always told myself, today I want something more. I want to earn different kinds of profits. What else can I start? What else can I start? What else can I start? What I learned is, if you seek, you find. And if you've made it to this point, it's not a coincidence. Here's another one for you. It's like that image that says, one day we're going to die, Snoopy. That's true, Charlie, but not the other days. Remember that we are mortal beings. What things do you still have left to accomplish? What dreams do you still have left to fulfill? What trips do you still have left to take? What trips would you like to give your family that maybe your job, neither good nor bad, just doesn't make possible for you? A business could actually give you that. A business like this one, which I assure you I've developed. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and anyone who takes it seriously can manage it. Friends, you already know, reach out to me on WhatsApp, or you can message me privately for anything. See you next time. Bye.